Well, the Thunder, they're rolling up 3-2 in the conference finals thanks to some key contributions from their role players. I don't even know, with the Thunder, can you even call them role players? This is just the Thunder identity at this point. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had a little bit of a slow start in this one. Early in the second quarter here, Jared McCain.
Wow. Look at that darn.
Jay Will.
Hell of a pass.
Casey Wallace.
Touch pass.
Great ball movement.
And most people would just catch and finish it. Instead, he's like, you know what's better than 2, 3?
In the very next possession here, kicking it to Alex Caruso.
Man, and that's how you get it back.
Williams hyping up the crowd there afterwards after that shot as well. One of the better backup centers in the league, right? McCain drives, gets to the rim.
Man, nice touch.
Gets that one to go. He had 20 points.
Man is a hooper.
Let's go to the fourth quarter here. This is the start of the fourth. SGA just sitting comfortably, hanging on the bench. Julian Champagnie throwing a pass to Wemby, who's just not quite looking there.
Yeah, got to have some communication in that transition.
And then the other way.
He wasn't looking.
Give up a dunk.
Isaiah Hartenstein.
Juju played good last night, though.
So with Wemby on the court and SGA off, the Spurs, they were outscored by 8 points. They shot 3 of 13 from the field. That's just not a recipe for success, especially because they were also, Shanae, out-rebounded by 4. Here come the Spurs.
This was it for me. That was the play. I was like, it's not his night. He doesn't have his legs. And he normally makes this a highlight reel #1 on SportsCenter. Not this time.
Not this time. Victor Wembanyama couldn't quite get it done. Here's Miss Johnson after the game.
He's got to take more than 15 shots, even with the free throws. And, yeah, he's going to have to score more than 20 points for sure. He'll definitely need to take more shots. But there's a lot of things all over the place where even when we had advantages and we just didn't make simple plays to take advantage of the opportunity in that possession. And in this type of game, you got to be sure of everything you're doing in a very secure, mature way.
Vocal cords, maybe.
Yeah. He's been coaching hard.
Need a little lotion. But he is correct, right? Wemby, he's put up video game numbers in the Spurs wins, 37 points, 16 rebounds, but he's been really human in their losses, going for 22-9 here. We haven't heard from Victor since the loss. As we discussed, he didn't speak with reporters after the game. But, Danny, how does he need to respond here in Game 6 with San Antonio's season on the line?
Yeah, he's got to respond in a big way. And the biggest thing is defense. Them giving up 127 points to that OKC team without J-Dub and A.J. Mitchell.
After only giving up 82
unacceptable
the last time.
Again, as a primary defender, and so the opponents 11-16, that's what they were last night. They had 11 made field goals against Victor. I think that's a career high, or his probably career low, as being a primary defender at the rim.
That's crazy,
69%. Like, he doesn't allow that. As you've seen every one of those clips, he's half a second late, half a second behind. His activity, not just rebounding, but deferring those guys, deterring them from the rim is going to be clutch and key. Like, we know he dislikes Chet. We know they have a rivalry. You got to be physical. Make sure Chet is still scared of you. Put the fear of God in him. And also Isaiah Hartenstein. So defensively is where it relies more on him. But like Ms. Johnson said, he's got to score too. He's got to be aggressive offensively. And that's getting closer to the basket, ducking in, getting an offensive putback. So he's got to be active all around. He's got to be MVP. And they do need help. Champagnie gave him some last night. It's tough to lose a game when your role player gives you 20. But we need Keldon Johnson. We need Dylan Harper. We need De'Aaron Fox.
You see that we that's coming out? His Spurs.
It's my French. It's my French, you know?
Spurs. That's that.
A little Wemby language.
Yeah, and speaking of that differential, because right now that's the strength of the Oklahoma City Thunder, that they can have guys sub in and give you all-star-like production, which is wild, especially in the postseason, whereas the Spurs just don't have that. Look at the difference right here. The Thunder are doubling when it comes to points off of the bench, 51 points per game off the bench. This is bonkers. Mind you, McCain started, right? So his contributions in the last game, getting 20 points, knocking out 3 threes, don't affect these numbers on this side when it comes to Game 5. It's hard. Like Victor, let's just keep it real. Victor, you can see he is giving his literal all every second he's on the floor. Danny, I want to ask you, in the postseason, what is it like to fight past that fatigue? Like, how do you teach a guy like that who's going through it to be able to make it?
It's tough. There's a reason why everybody thinks every team needs to go through, like, some bumps and bruises. They take their lumps. Right now, they're showing some youth right now, and you got to go through a year of losing because it takes that mental stamina, that mental stability, and like going a year of doing that to be able to have your mind conditioned for that. And right now, they're really going through it.
Which is why we say the Spurs are ahead of schedule in some ways.
Keldon Johnson's trying to do it. Pop is trying to do it. Like, it's going to take upon him. But everybody in that locker room is telling him this is a mental thing. It's not just physical. Like, it's no longer physical for you. You got to bring that mentality and fight through it. And again, it might not happen for him. But it starts and ends with him, and they're going to need him to come with that, said from the start to finish, that mental toughness and not allow himself to feel or even think fatigue at any point in the game.
Right, but despite the last couple of years, the San Antonio Spurs team, they don't want to hear about that. They don't want to hear about the fact that they have to go through it, that they have to lose before they get to the mountaintop. You know that better than anyone, Danny, because you were actually in the San Antonio locker room. So can you just take us inside, to Chiney's point, what those conversations are like within the Spurs specifically? Because they don't accept that.
No, they definitely don't. And I think Pop let that be known in that film session maybe 2 or 3 days ago. He might talk to Timmy, he might talk to David Robinson, and there's a reason why they probably not let him talk to the media. You know, they're going to have him by himself, protect him from himself, also have him mentally just away from everything. And then when it comes down to it, watch a lot of film. We're going to talk him through it. Maybe a sports therapist, but they're going to make sure that he's mentally ready, physically ready, give him a lot of massaging and whatever treatment he needs, ice baths. But when it comes to the mental part of it, they're going to make sure not only he, but everybody else on that team is locked in, because it's not just him. He needs De'Aaron Fox. He needs Stephon Castle. He needs Keldon Johnson. So even though we need him to be ready, those other guys got to come to play too, and it's going to take everything with your backs against the wall in a game, elimination game for them. This is the first in his career. Which
was interesting. I was scrolling social media yesterday. Giannis said this post. You guys know the guy that says, like, hey, you're rich, teach me your ways, right? Giannis had one of those, and he said the way that he became an MVP was because Kobe Bryant challenged him and said, be MVP. And he realized it was hard to do that physically, but he told his mind first, I will be MVP. Right. I am the best. I can't say what Giannis said, but like there is a mental game, right? Where I'm sure Wemby, we all know he studies the aspects of the game. He's prepared, but to me, it's the physical part. Like he's being asked to create, he's being asked to defend, he's being asked to do so much. Doing it over the course of 4, 5, 6, 7 games, that's where you need your teammates. But their teammates are occupied.
Right, exactly. And everyone's a little bit banged up at this point in the season. And if you're the New York Knicks, you're sitting back over here going,
keep going.
Y'all beat up on each other all you want here, because the Knicks, they have had success in the regular season, which you can only take so much from, right? Against the Spurs, they won 2 out of 3. That does include the in-season tournament title game. They won that one by more than 11 points. They did, however, lose both games to OKC. Their offense just didn't quite look right. Did anyone ever, like in college, or did anyone play like Would You Rather? Did anyone ever?
Yeah, I might have played that once or twice.
Like, I might know the rules. So if you're the Knicks, would you rather, Danny, face Oklahoma City, or would you rather face San Antonio?
Earlier in the playoffs, I would have said the Spurs, because I've seen how they match up with them throughout the season. And right now, the Spurs are showing us the regular season does not matter. Because OKC, even with guys being down, they are beating up on the Spurs right now. But how Victor was struggling how he's struggling right now with Isaiah Hartenstein and Chet, he is going to struggle even more with Mitchell Robinson and Karl Anthony Towns. Like that big lineup gives him trouble. So if I was them, I would say San Antonio. But with the way OKC is and how they're banged up and down bodies and the way that New York is playing basketball, I don't think it matters.
Agreed.
So whoever comes out, I know everybody's saying the West is stronger. I'm thinking the trophy is in New York City this summer.
Wow.
I got Knicks in 6, whoever comes out of the West. So the way they're playing is that playing on the string defensively, offensively, sharing the ball, moving it.
Shanae was going, agree. And then you said Knicks in 6, and Shanae got real quiet.
That's the way they're playing. You got Landry Shamet going 11 for 12 from 3. Deuce McBride knocking down shots. Big body Brunson ISOing down the stretch. This team is looking unbeatable.
They're looking the part.
They're looking really good.
Are,
and with those two teams going to be fatigued after a 6, possibly 7-game series, we've seen what Cleveland looked like. Obviously, Cleveland's a little bit lesser, but they were fatigued. It's hard to turn around and jump right into another finals series against a team that's playing like that, that's fully rested as well, and playing their best basketball. That's an uphill battle. I think the Knicks are going to bring it home this year. Honestly.
Victor Wembanyama is a player of destiny, but it feels like the New York Knicks are a team of destiny. All the circumstances for them to win a championship are sort of unfolding in real time. You are literally the hottest team in basketball. You're holding teams to the least amount of points. You're scoring the most. You have the largest win differential. Your team is clicking on all cylinders. And you've got the king of New York and Jalen Brunson, right? I like watching. It's not what you do, it's how you do it and when you do it. They are playing their best version of basketball right now. Whether it's the Spurs, whether it's the Thunder. I had trust issues with the Knicks coming into the playoffs. I don't have them anymore. I have confidence now based off of the circumstance that they're going to be rested, looking at this banged up Western Conference and be like, we can do this now. Now, saying all of that, I would want to avoid Victor Wembanyama at all costs as an individual, but even more so, I'd want to avoid the Thunder as a team. Because they are built to withstand. They are built to withstand.
The DNA.
Buying time for their players to hopefully get rested up and healthy.
And also having experience of having a long layoff, knowing that they kind of let their foot off the gas in game 1 against Cleveland. They got lucky and also a little bit good late in that game.
Rust.
They don't panic.
Exactly.
And if you're going into the Garden, the number one quality you want from a team is not being able to panic.
Right. And talking to players after Knicks players after they were able to win the Eastern Conference Finals, I had a conversation with I said, who do you want to face? And they said, well, we're just glad to be the rested team. They did, though, mention that going up against Oklahoma City and the way that they really smartly used that foul, starting the series on the road, that is something that